Hey guys, it's Licious Kid from ClimaxCombo, and we're back with another Leaks of the Week. This week we're continuing off with the Two Love Through Darkness Booster Pack, which is to come out on the 18th of September. And we're also starting the Charlotte Trial deck, which is also coming out on the 18th of September as well. Pretty exciting week in my opinion. I think Two Love Through Darkness shows a lot of good cards, and Charlotte starts this week. And I'm currently watching Charlotte, and I really do enjoy the series, so I'm really curious to see what Bushiroad is going to do with Charlotte. So yeah, I guess with that out of the way, let's get to it. So first of all, August 31st, 002K double R Lala, Alien and Science. What she does is that if you have one or less other characters, this card gains plus 1500 power, and she has a Resonance ability. During the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can pay cost, which is reveal one sitting Lala from your hand. If you do, move this to an empty border on your center stage. Before I go into the 0-0, I'll go over the 3-2 that she resonates with first, because I do think that is important. So 3-2, 10k R, Sitting Lala, the card that does resonate with the first card. When this card is played from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is an Alien or Science, this card gains plus 2k power until the end of the turn. And lastly, when this card is played from hand to stage, you can heal one. I'll also go over the third card, because the third card also synergizes, has a resonance ability with the Sitting Lala. 2-1 Bond of Trust Lala, Alien and Silent. Alien and Science. She has a resonance ability, of course, reveal one Sitting Lala. When this card is reversed from battle, and the level of the card's battling opponent is greater than your opponent's level, you can pay cost. If you do, you may place that battling character to reverse. So first, I guess we should go over Sitting Lala. Sitting Lala, she's not bad. She heals, and that alone is pretty good, but her on play is not that great. On play, she's just 12k for the turn if you manage to reveal an Alien or Science. If you don't reveal an Alien or Science, then she's pretty much like a 3-2 10k vanilla healer. Honestly, hasn't done you anything. But yeah, so Sitting Lala, not that good of a level 3. Pretty underwhelming. And even if you do reveal the top and you show an Alien or Science, not too scary as well, because it's not like she has an on reverse ability or an on attack ability, so nothing too scary really. But I think what makes Sitting Lala good are the cards that resonance with her, these two right here. I think these two cards are fairly powerful. The 0-0, she's a runner, and running is really awesome, as we all know by now. And for her to run, all you have to do is reveal the Sitting Lala, which may not work out all the time, because you need to pretty much have Sitting Lala in your opening hand. And maybe if you do have Lala in your hand, but you don't open up with... One second. Sorry, my parents needed something. But even if you open up with Sitting Lala, but you don't open up with the 0-0, then that's meh. But then, and same thing, vice versa. If you open up with the 0-0, but you don't open up with the Lala, then that's kind of sucks. But the 0-0 is still good on her own. If you draw into her, but you don't draw into any Lalas, I still think that's really good, because she is still a 0-0-3-5 if you have one or less other characters, which is going to be, that's going to happen 90% of the time. But if you do get these two together, you can really cause a headache for your opponent. It's 3-5 runner. I mean, just a normal runner at 2k or 2-5 power is annoying to deal with, but when she's a 3-5 runner, then that's, all the more annoying for your opponent to deal with. So I think the 0-0 is an excellent card, and, if you're running the 0-0, then you definitely should be running the level 3 healer. Like I said, the healer is not that good, but, the level 0 is super strong if you open up with these two. So I think that's really awesome. And the Bonds of Trust Lala is also pretty good as well. She's kind of like an anti-changer, but not really an anti-change. The only other card that I can think of that's pretty similar to this is the 1-1 Adachi from Persona. And I think that the Adachi is pretty good. And so same thing, I do think the Lala is pretty good. She's 2-1 8k. When she gets reversed and the battling opponent is greater than your opponent's level, you can put that card to reverse as well. And I think that's really good. Especially nowadays, the meta is at level 2, your opponents have level 3s, and it can be really hard to deal with. And some sets do have anti-change, but some of the anti-change is really heavy. And nowadays, a lot of the level 3s that come out at level 2, the cost to play them is super light. Back in the day, we had to climax phase change, and climax phase change is really heavy. But now it's just Onodera, you just pay 2 and then you will cantrip, and then that's just really dumb. And even if you anti-change it, there's still like probably more Onodetas on the field. So anti-changing pretty heavy, but the Bond of Trust Lala is really light cost. All you pretty much do, you're pretty much 1 point warning your opponent, but your opponent is losing out more because they're losing usually a level 3 when you kill them with the 2/1 Lala. So you paid 1 stock for a level 2, while your opponent paid some extra stock in some shape or form, and they lost their level 3. And I think that is really good. And the Bond of Trust Lala Resonance ability is much easier to get off than the 0/0 because by level 2, definitely you had a lot more time throughout the game to search for a sitting Lala in your hand, and you can pretty much guarantee the 2/1 Lala Resonance ability 90% of the time. If you just play smart, play accordingly, search her, salvage her, what have you. So draw into her. So you should have a lot of time for the 2/1 Lala, and I think in certain matchups, or if not a lot of matchups nowadays, the 2/1 Lala should be able to hit your opponent's level 3s at level 2, and I think that's really awesome. And not a lot of level 3s have like that weird ability where they can't be reversed by opponent's characters. A lot of level 3s nowadays don't really have that ability, so this should be really relevant, and I think it's really awesome. And it's only an uncommon, so I don't think you can go wrong with an uncommon anti-changing level 2. Yeah, you do lose the Lala, so you are susceptible to direct attack next turn, but I think that's pretty worth it, especially depending on like what you're killing. So really do like these, really do like this. And so overall, I think these are a good trio of cards. Is there anything else I want to say about these? Nah, I'll just leave it at that. Kind of underwhelming level 3, but some really good. The other cards, I think the resonant abilities are really good, so I think it makes up for the lackluster level 3. And I guess now I'll leave it at that. So next up is the first Charlotte card, 2/2, that pizza sauce event. Anyways, what this does is place 2 of your characters from stand to rest. If 2 characters are put into rest in this manner, search your deck for up to 2 superpower or housework characters, show them to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Pretty good event. It's usually like there's those like 2/2 salvage events, and now we have a 2/2 search event. Nothing too crazy. I guess the only real downside is that you do have to put 2 of your characters from stand to rest, but you do +1, and since there are what the heck. And since they are being searched from your deck, you also compress 2. So yeah, the traits that it hit, superpower and housework, if you guys aren't familiar with the anime, superpower should be 90% of the cast because a lot of the cast members do have like superpowers of some form. Or housework. Housework should be like Ayumi, which is the little sister, which always makes the pizza sauce or uses the pizza sauce. So, I mean, the fact that this hits superpower, I think already makes it really good because it should be the bulk of the deck. And the fact that it's hit housework, technically Ayumi is a superpower, but I don't know if she's going to get the superpower trait. But if not, still, the fact that it can grab housework makes sense because then it can grab Ayumi, which is a pretty big character in the show as well. So overall, this pizza sauce should be able to hit 90% of your deck, and I think that's really good. So overall, a very solid TD card to start off with. And it's the pizza sauce, it's hilarious. Anyways, let's go on to September 1st, more of the Alien Sisters. September 1st, 001K Uncommon, 3 Close Sisters, Lala, Alien and Science. So she has 2 bond abilities. Her first bond is with Nana, and the bond is discard a card. And her second bond is with Momo, which is the same thing. It's a discard a card bond. Momo, one of the bond targets, of course, is Alien and Plant, 1045 Uncommon. She has a Resonance ability with the sitting Lala, once again, that we saw yesterday. During the start of your climax phase, if this card is in the center stage, you can pay cost, which is reveal the sitting Lala from your hand. If you do, all your other characters get plus 2k for the turn. I guess I'll go over Momo first since she doesn't really synergize with Momo. I think Momo is a good like tech card. I think you could get away with running 1 or 2 Momos. I think 2 Momos is good. Maybe you could run 3, but I don't think you should be running 4 Momos. I guess you could run 4 Momos actually. Nah, I would say don't. I would say keep it at 2 or 3 Momos. But anyways, I think Momo is pretty good. She's 1045, so she's pretty underwhelming in power. But her Resonance ability is pretty good. At the beginning of your climax phase, you can reveal the Lala from your hand. You don't have to pay anything, and all your other characters get plus 2k for the turn. So since it's all your other characters, Momo is gonna stay really weak. However, if Momo's Resonance ability allows your other two characters to successfully reverse your opponent's character. I do think that's worth it. So for that reason, I think Momo is pretty good. Uh, yeah, costless 2k power boost to your other characters. Really light, and I think it's pretty efficient. All you have to do is reveal Lala in your hand, and by level 1, that shouldn't be too hard to accomplish, especially if you're running 4 Momos. I'm sorry, if you're running 4 of the sitting Lala. I think by level 1, it's really real. It's realistic that you will be able to get a sitting Lala into your hand. And if you do, I think you're pretty set. You got like the 2-1 ready, you got the 1-0 ready, and the 1-0 is pretty good, really light, gives a huge power to your other two characters, and you can use that in conjunction with like, climaxes, and then, you can get yourself a really strong board, and I think that's really awesome. So overall, I do think the 1-0 Momo is a really nice card. It's only uncommon, so I definitely don't think you can go wrong with an uncommon like this. Next up, we have the other bond target, the Nana 1045 as well, uncommon, alienate animal. What she does is when this card reverses its opponent in battle, you can pay cost, which is once again resonance, and then reveal. You pay 1 and reveal the sitting Lala in your hand, and if you do, choose one character in your waiting room and add it to your hand. So I guess the idea behind these two is that you're supposed to use Momo to power up Nana, and then that way Nana can't kill opponent's characters, because Nana is really weak. She's only 4-5, so the most of the time she's only gonna be able to kill like level 0s or really weak level 1s, like the 1-0 Chitoge from the extra booster that looks at top 2 on play. Probably something like that, but if you use in conjunction with Momo, then when you do kill something, you can pay 1, reveal, and then you get to salvage a character, which is really good. It's pay 1 and reveal a sitting Lala, and you do get to plus. So the cost is really light for what you get, but of course it can be a little difficult to manage because, Nana is, as we can see, really weak. But I do think Nana does have potential. I don't think she's bad, and it's nice that it's nice that you pay cost after she reverses an opponent character. If it was before, then I think this card would be pretty terrible. But because it's after, I do think it's pretty nice. If your opponent has like a level 0 just chilling in the front row, just play Nana, kill it, pay 1, reveal, and you get to salvage. I think that's really good. So Nana, same thing as Momo. I don't think you should be like running a playset of them. I don't think you should be running 4 Nanas, because like your level 1 game will be way too weak then. I think if you run like maybe 1 or 2 Nanas, then I think it'll be really good as well. And of course, you can use these two in conjunction, so that's a thing. But I think like even without, if you're not running Momo, I do think Nana as a standalone card is just fine as she is. So overall, for a trio of uncommons, I really do like these as uncommon cards. I think both of these two have potential, and because of that, I do think Lala is okay. I mean, the bond's not that great because it's a discard bond. So like, yeah, you do get the hand filter, but they had the level 0. I forgot which girl, Momo, the level 0 Momo that allows you to like pay 1 discard to salvage. So I don't think their hand filtering was. This does let you hand filter, yes. Like it lets you discard climaxes, and Lala lets you discard 2 climaxes because she has 2 bond abilities, but I don't think the bond is completely necessary for these two. I think these two cards are just fine as like a 1-0, as a 1-of. Or like, I think these cards are just fine without the bond targets, or without running the bonder. I think these cards will be fine. But if you do want to run the bond, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. So all 3 of these, I don't think are mandatory, but I definitely do think all 3 of these are playable. All 3 of these are really good. Of course, the Lala's not playable if you don't run the other 2s. But if you run one or 2 of these, run a Lala maybe, and I think you'll be good. So overall, I really do like these 3 cards as well. Holy crap. So much Attack on Titan. Good thing we're not going over these, or I'd be on this page forever. Damn, that's crazy. Whatever. Good thing we're not doing this. Anyways, let's go on to September 2nd. Next up, Mikon, my friend's waifu. So he should be buying this set for her, but I don't know if he is. Maybe he is. If he is, that's really exciting, because I do think the set is really strong right now. Not really strong, I do think the set looks like a lot of fun, and it's pretty good. Anyways, 3295, double R, Yuki, Mikon, Housework, and Ransel. What she does is for every other transformation or housework character you control, this card gains plus 500 power, and when it's played from hand to stage or via change, you can heal. I guess we should go over the changer first, because I do think the changer is very interesting. 2-1 5k uncommon, preparing breakfast Mekon, housework, and Ransel. She's a level assist in front, and she has a change into the level 3. So during the start of your climax phase, you can pay cost, but the cost for this is different. You can discard 2 transformation or housework characters from your hand, and then place this card to waiting room. If you do, choose one Mekon from your waiting room and put it onto the original border of this card. I guess first we should go over. Well, I guess first we'll go over the level 3. The level 3, 3295 Yuki Mekon. She's nothing special. We've seen these type of healers nowadays. Like there's the level 3 Diva Miku healer that has the exact same effect as this, and there's the Kotori healer from the Love Live that's exactly the same like this, and both of those can be changed into hilariously enough. And the Kotori's changer is also a level assist, so it's kind of like, come on, Bushiro, can you think a little harder about this one? I don't know. Anyways, Mekon, if you're running green and she's a healer, I guess, she does synergize with yellow because she does synergize with transformation and houseworks. And last week we saw the 3-2 golden darkness, which also synergizes with transformations and housework. And Mekon is housework, so I guess yellow green is a thing. I don't know much about the anime, but I guess the 2 decks can work together, which is quite nice. So last week we saw the level 3 yellow Mekon. Not the level 3 yellow golden darkness. She didn't heal, and we didn't see any other yellow healers. So perhaps you will have to run yellow and green together, because this is the first healer we've seen for either of these colors. And if she is the only transformation or housework healer, then if you're running a transformation or housework deck, running a couple Mekons I do think will be mandatory, because you do need a couple heals, and the set doesn't have anti-heal either. So I think Mekon will be important if she's the only healer. But yeah, because she's a healer and she does have the housework trait, and the fact that she does synergize with the transformation deck, overall I would say Mekon is she's mandatory to run, even though she's not the greatest. But still, it's not that bad. It's solid. It's solid, but nothing exciting. But I think mandatory. So from what we've seen so far, she's mandatory, and I'll leave it at that. But her changer, it's interesting. She's a level assist. That alone, once again, makes it really good. But also, her change cost is something we've never seen so far, from at least what I can recall. And pretty damn sure this is the first. So pretty interesting what they're trying to do. It's you discard 2 transformation or housework characters at the start of your waiting room, and then you place her to the waiting room. And during the start of your climax phase, you play her. So you're only, like before, climax phase changes was, the usual is you pay 1 for the changer, and then you pay an extra 2 to change, and you discard a card. So overall, like, you're kind of losing a lot of hand size, or you're losing a lot of stock. You're paying 3 stock in total, and you're discarding a card to get out the level. You're getting the level 3 from your climax phase. And honestly, it's super heavy. I don't really see that many decks run like a standard climax phase change, just because it's really heavy. It can't really keep up with like level 3s that can just come out for like really easy conditions, like Joseph from Terraformars, Onodeta from not Love Live, Onodeta from Nisekoi, the Kirito from SAO, the new one. So with all these like good level 3s that come out at level 2 for like such easy conditions, pretty much just like pay 2 to come out, like the climax phases couldn't really keep up. So I'm assuming this is like Bushiroad's answer to it. They're making these new climax phase change cards, and I think this is a fairly interesting one. Really light on cost, because of course you're only paying 1, but the cost, like how much damage it does to your hand, is pretty huge, because you have to discard 2 cards from your hand. So I don't know. I think it'll be okay. I mean, a normal climax phase change was pay 3, discard 1. So you're discarding an extra 1, and you're not paying any stock. However, this one you have to discard 2 transformation or housework characters. It specifically says characters, so you can't discard climaxes. I guess that was one of the benefits to the normal climax phase change. You could discard climaxes. This one has to be characters, and it's really heavy on the hand size. So and like the changer herself, she's a level assist. Usually assists that change into level 3s in my opinion, are pretty bad. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of like level assists or like 1K globals being the changer for a level 3. Unless it's a draw phase change, then it's excellent, like Madoka or Gargantia or Milky Holmes. Then it's excellent if the assist is a draw phase change. I think that's really good. But when an assist is a climax phase change, then I think it's kind of shitty because it's like when you change into the level 3 is gonna need some assists to help her stay on board. But when you use your assist as the changer, then it's kind of hard to maintain, especially with a changer like this where you have to discard 2 cards from your hand. It can be a little difficult to manage like your field setup. So it's hard to say because we haven't seen anything like this so far. And it also does depend on how well like mono green or yellow green can like maintain hand size. So far we've seen like some pretty good cards for yellow and green, but 2 hand size is pretty huge. So in my opinion, the changer is I like this change cost. I like what they're trying to do. It might not be the best, but at least they're trying something new, so I really do like that. But I don't know. I really don't know because we've never seen anything like this. I think it's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to be the worst thing ever. I want to stay optimistic, so I want to say that it's playable. But honestly, I think we'll have to see. It also just depends on how well yellow and green can maintain hand size. I think it's going to be able to maintain hand size well because of the next card we're going to see. The next card is pretty good at generating hand size, so I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem for To Level Darkness, especially for yellow/green builds because of the next level 1 we're going to see tomorrow. So I think for that, I think that also contributes to the fact that I think it's going to be playable. Like if they didn't have this level 1 that I'm going to go over soon, then I think the playability of this card goes down. But because they do have that awesome level 1 combo that I'll show you soon, I think it becomes more playable. But still, I'm not a fan of the assist changing into a level 3. I think that's pretty shitty. And the fact that you have to discard 2 characters specifically makes it a little not as good. And like even if you do change into a level 3, it's not that great. Like all you do is heal. And she's big body, but she's still susceptible to anti-change. And like if you don't have an assist backing her up, then she's not too hard to defeat. But we'll see. We'll just leave it at that. We'll see how it goes. I am pretty excited I'm excited for this. I'm really curious to see how well this works out. So, maybe if it does work out really well, then maybe in the future we'll see other sets with this change cost. If not, then I guess I hopefully it just disappears into the darkness because if it ends up sucking, then I hope it doesn't come to Love Live or Nisekoi because I don't want shitty changers. Anyways, let's go on. Very interesting card. Next up, the awesome level 1 that I was talking about, 1045R, Tidy Enclosed Mekon, Housework, and Ransel. When all your characters are transformation or housework, this card gains plus 1k, so she's a 5/5, and she combos with the Taiyaki Keyholder, which is the gold bar right here. When this card reverses opponent in battle with the gold bar, search your deck for up to 1 transformation or housework character, show your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. I think this is pretty ridiculous. She's only in R2, which is also pretty ridiculous. I think if she was double R, I think this card is double R worthy because it's good. Full field of transformation or houseworks, it's a 5/5, and that's really strong. Usually these 1-0s that climax combo, they're like 105k, like Shimikaze, Tachibana. Yeah, they're usually 5k power. However, this one is 5/5, and the extra 500 power I think does matter because her climax combo is dependent on reversing your opponent's characters. So the extra 500 I do think is very nice. And as you can see, when you kill something, when you kill an opponent's character, you get to search your deck for a transformation or household character for free, no stock, and then you add it to your hand. I think this card is really good. 5/5 power, she sits at vanilla power if your full field is transformation and housework, which is not too hard to accomplish at all. Combos with the gold bar. Gold bar, really easy to get to your hand because of course when you just trigger it, boom, right into your hand. So really easy to get to your hand, and if you do, You get a free search when you kill something, and when you using multiple conjunction of when you use it with multiple Mekons, you get all the more pluses. So overall, Mekon, I would dare say, staple in your yellow green builds, because I think this climax combo is just way too powerful, and I definitely would say get a playset of these if you're planning to run yellow green in your Two Lovely Darkness decks, because I don't think I have to say anything else. It's just so good, so good, so good. Ah, and you search, so it's like also more compressed, and it helps you refresh faster into your level 2. So really good, super good at generating hand size. So that on top of, yeah, the level 2 is really hand heavy, but I mean they have this awesome hand generating plus climax combo when you use multiple of them. So quite pleased with this. I think it's really good. Next up, more Two Lovely Darkness 102K uncommon transformation as Sweets wrapped in ribbons Mia. When you use this card as a backup and you have a transformation or housework character, choose one of your battling characters, gets plus 1k power until the end of the turn, and it's a 1k backup. So 2k backup for transformation and housework deck, because it's 1k by itself, and when you use it and you have a transformation or housework character, the battling character gets an extra 1k. Nothing uncommon. Nothing uncommon. So solid card. 102k character backups. You can't get any better than that. Well, I guess you can in Milky Homes, but most decks can't get any better than that. So definitely a welcome addition to Two Lovely Darkness, and it's only an uncommon, and the art is pretty arousing. So overall, and she's transformation as Sweets, which is great for the yellow/green decks. Actually, only for the yellow decks, huh? No, never mind, for the yellow and green decks. So overall, very solid card, and definitely you should be running a couple of these in your yellow-green build. I guess the only downside is that you can't split the 1k power like you can in SAO, but still, overall, really good. Oh, did yesterday have? No Charlotte cards yesterday. I don't think Tuesday had any Charlotte cards either. Nope. So Thursday, another Charlotte card, 002K TD, Whereabouts of Youth, Nishimori Yusa, Superpower, and Student Council. So what she does is, when this card declares an attack, you may pay cost, which is rest one of your standing characters. If you do, choose one of your characters that gets plus 1 level and plus 1500 power until the end of the turn. Not a bad card. Definitely for a trial deck, not bad either, because in the trial deck, there's not that many ways to tap your back row. Like, trial decks usually don't come with a plus brainstorm, and usually plus brainstorms are like the way you tap your back row. But not all trial decks have that, and for a trial deck, they can actually utilize resting their back row with this Yusa. And what you get out of it is pretty good. You get your character gains plus 1 level, which isn't that great. It's only like really good if you're like trying to get over a suicider. And the character gets plus 1500 power. The 1500 power is actually pretty substantial, so it's a lot of power, and it does give one of your other characters plus 1 level. Since she is level 0, you can use it in conjunction with like another level 0, but it's kind of unfortunate that you have to give it to another character, because if you want to like kill an opponent's level 0 suicider at level 0, you're gonna have to play Yusa and another character to do it, because this Yusa can't give herself the plus 1 level. So in that aspect, it's kind of a bummer. Like, why can't she give herself the plus 1 level and the plus 15? Just make it pretty good. But unfortunately, you can't. But even then, I still think it's solid, because the 1500 power is pretty substantial, and you never know if your opponent, like later into the game, if your opponent has like a suicider of some form, you can just use in conjunction with Yusa and get over it. But the main part is the 1500 power, in my opinion. So yeah, a pretty solid trial deck card. She has the superpower trait, which I do think is going to be extremely relevant, so that's also good as well. And I think in like a normal, as a standalone card, like maybe when the actual booster comes out, depending on how back row reliant Charlotte is, if they don't depend on their back row that much, I think this Yusa can make a spot in the normal decks, because on attack you just rest the character, and then you give a character plus 15, and that's not bad at all. So I do think Yusa can work out in the main deck. So overall, a solid trial deck card, and does have a little potential in the main deck. And lastly, Friday, the last day, some very exciting cards. 3295 Double R Kurosaki Mia, transformation at Sweets. 9.5 power. Did I say that? She's only 9.5. But what she does is, during your own turn, for every other transformation or Sweet housework characters, this card gains plus 1k power. And she has another effect of when this card is played from hand to stage, reveal X card from the top of your deck, add one card amongst them to your hand, discard any remaining amount, and X is the number of transformation or housework characters you control. Mia is not bad. As a standalone, I think she's not bad, but I guess. But when you use her in conjunction with Golden Darkness that we saw last week, then I think she's really good and really awesome. So she's underpowered, yes, but during your own turn, she gets plus 1k for every character that's Transformation or Houseworks. And by now, we're going to assume that if you're running Transformation or Housework, all your characters are going to be Transformation or Housework. So for every character, pretty much she gets plus 1k, and if you have a full field of Transformation or Housework, she'll be 3-2. She gets plus 4k, so 13.5 power, which is just ridiculously huge. But, it's only during your own turn. Next turn, she's gonna die, but by that point, she has done her job. But I think what makes her really good is to look at top X and, add one to your hand, discard the rest. We've seen effects like this a lot, and, it's not like the greatest effect, but I do think it's really good in 2 Love for Darkness, because last week we saw the Golden Darkness, which has a really good climax combo with the Wind Trigger. And I think the Wind Trigger climax combo that Golden Darkness has is extremely powerful, like extremely powerful. And the fact that now Yellow has a pretty strong way to grab the Wind Trigger, I think makes it all that much more awesome. Like Golden Darkness on her own already draw 2, ditched 1, so it wasn't. If you play like a lot of Golden Darknesses, there's like a decent chance of getting the Wind Trigger to your hand. But now that they have this Mia, it's super easy to get the Wind Trigger to your hand, because you can use it in conjunction with Golden Darkness's draw 2, ditch 1, and you can use it along with the Kurosaki Mia check top. And if you have a full field, that's 5 cards. After using Golden Darkness and using Mia, and especially if you use multiple of them per turn, then I think pretty much getting the Wind Trigger is going to be guaranteed. And I think that's really good, because that Wind Trigger combo is really strong. So overall, really happy about this card. Definitely a solid card. You could go with 1 to 2, 1 or 2. I would say 2, maybe 3. I think 3 is max. I don't think you should be running 4 Mias. I think that's a little insane. So I think 2 to 3 Mias, in conjunction with the Golden Darknesses and in conjunction with the Healer Mekon. I think that's a pretty solid level 3 lineup from just what we've seen so far. We haven't seen the other level 3 green yet, but just Golden Darkness, Mekon, and Mia, think that's a pretty solid level 3 lineup so far. And I'm sure there are more level 3s to come. So just those 3 alone, I think it's really good, and I'm really excited. So overall, Mia, guaranteeing, or almost guaranteeing, not guaranteeing, I'll say a really good chance of getting the Wind Trigger combo for the Golden Darkness. Mia, I think, is very good and definitely has my seal of approval. And next up, we got this 3/3 backup, Uncommon Darkness Plan. We haven't seen this character yet. I wonder if she'll get some normal cards besides this backup. What this does is it's a backup. Choose one battling character. It gains the following ability until the end of the turn. This card cannot deal damage to players. And it has another effect, because it's period. Then the other effect. Choose one of your characters, gets plus 1500 power until the end of the turn. I don't know where to start with this. First of all, anti-damage. We all know it. We all love it if you're running it, and we all hate it if you're running it, or if you're running it. So, anti-damage, really good. If your set has anti-damage, usually you're gonna run it, unless Milky Holmes. I forgot now, but the Milky Holmes anti-damage backup is really weird. So I don't know if they run it, but Compass, Money backup, really good, really relevant, and usually always ran in those archetypes or in their series. So it's heavy, yes, because it's pay 3 and you have to use it at level 3. But I guess the upside, quote unquote, is the fact that it gives plus 1500 power until the end of the turn. I think if there was a 3/2 backup without the plus 1500 power backup effect, I think it'd be a lot better. Or if this was a 2/3 backup from the same thing from Little Busters, I think it'd be better. But it's a 3/3, so you can't do anything about it now. But the fact that it is an anti-damage backup, that on its own makes it playable. And I do think you should be running these. I would say, yeah, you should be running these in your 2-level Darkness deck because it's anti-damage, and anti-damage is really gay. Stops those burns, stop those flare triggers, stop those burn on cancel, stop those double attackers, and we've seen a lot of level 3s now, which all have those effects. Like, so many level 3s that just, double attack, burn on attack. So this should be a really good way to stop those, and even then, just stopping like one attack is just so good. So overall, Darkness Plan, excellent card, and for an uncommon, but like every event is uncommon, can't go wrong with it, and you should definitely be running a couple of these in your 2-level Darkness decks because anti-damage is strong. Oh yeah, also Mia can grab the anti-damage because she can get any card. So yes, you can also grab the anti-damage, which is nice. Lastly, the last pair of cards, which is for Charlotte, 002K, U, Superpower, and Student Council. During your opponent's turn, this card gets plus 2K, so he's a 4K wall during your opponent's turn. Not that scary since he's only 4K. I mean, I guess it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. It's 4K during your opponent's turn, which is pretty good for the trial deck. And yeah, hopefully they'll have better level 0s than this in the actual booster. But for a trial deck card, not too bad. And as a standalone card, I guess it's not bad either. Like, it's not that bad. So, not a bad card. Lastly, 003K TD. Pizza sauce? No kidding, really? Oh, it does say pizza. Pizza. What the? What? So she doesn't have the superpower trait? She has the pizza sauce trait on the housework. Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh my god. Really? 003? Okay. It's a vanilla 3K, so nothing special here. But she has the awesome sauce trait. So staple in your Charlotte decks and staple in the standard decks because of that pizza sauce. And that is all for this week. Overall, I do think this week is very interesting and I like every card this week is good or playable or has potential. Like Lala, excellent runner, very scary if you do manage to get this off during your level 0. But even if you don't get it off at your level 0, she's still a 3-5, which is respectable. So Lala, definitely double R worthy. Sitting Lala, not too great, but still, her resonance, the cards that resonate with her are quite powerful in my opinion. 2-1, I like it. Think it's good. That pizza sauce, excellent. Momo, good. Or Momo and Nana, both cards with potential. Mikon, I mean, we've seen 2 level 3 yellows by now. I don't know if yellow's going to get a 3rd level 3. And none of them heal, so, Mikon works with the yellow deck, so, and we haven't seen the other green level 3, so far, Mikon is probably going to be staple, so that, for that very reason alone, she's good. The Changer, I think, like, this is the most interesting card this week. I'm really excited to see where this card goes. But, of course, like always, let me know what you guys think about the Changer. Excellent Climax combo. I'm honestly surprised this is not a double R. I do think this is double R worthy. Just so good. Mia, solid. Yusa, potential. Mia, I think staple just cause she can grab the wind trigger combo. Staple cause anti-damage, and staple cause of pizza sauce. So overall, very, very, very exciting week.